Hey everybody, this is Harry of iHarry.org. I want to welcome you to this presentation, and I'm really excited today to talk to you about what I consider to be the holy grail of traffic and content distribution. And that is, can I have a drum roll, please? Multicasting. We're going to briefly talk about multicasting 101, the basics of it, the bread and butter of multicasting. But all in all, trust me, you want to apply this in 2014. It'll make a huge difference to your business. So what the fuck is multicasting? I hear you ask right now. In a nutshell, it is content creation once. You create the content once and distribute the content across all platforms and channels to all devices. That's why I'm writing create content once and distribute everything to everywhere. To any device. And now, probably by now, you'll surely say that the definition you gave us doesn't actually explain anything, asshole. So, what the fuck is multicasting anyway? So, I'll try to break it down for you and make it as simple as possible to grasp. So, what is, I'll describe to you the multicasting model. First, a disclaimer. This presentation, the content of this presentation is not something that I thought by myself. I learned the multicasting model from the content of Paul Colligan and Mike Koenigs and Marissa Murgatroyd. She had of social media, summits and superhero social media superhero summits. Excuse me. And I saw, this hangout that she had with Paul Colligan that Paul explained about multicasting, and I was, blown away. So I started, researching a little bit more about it, and it actually is the holy grail of traffic and content distribution. So back to the model. And the best way to start a multicasting process is by creating a live cast. So what is a live cast? It's actually a webinar or a Google Hangout which provides, as usual, as a marketer, you should be aiming for giving the highest value content to your subscribers or your audience. So the live cast is actually, is a webinar or Google Hangout that provides high value, and it's actually a live video, okay? And visually, you might wanna record the Hangout or the webinar in high definition because you're gonna distribute it later, or you might be able to sell it as a great info product. So the live cast would be anywhere from, time wise, would be anywhere from 45 minutes and above. It might be 2 hours. Actually, the book, a best-selling book of Paul Colligan, which, if I remember, correctly, was maybe Tubecast Secrets or something like that, became an Amazon bestseller, and it's actually a transcription of webinar they did with Mike Koenigs about YouTube marketing. So it later became an Amazon bestseller on YouTube marketing. So you wanna create the live cast as of high quality as possible, meaning high quality content and high quality image, high definition. So what you do next is take this live cast and convert it into various formats, like a sound file, a PDF, an EPUB. You transcribe it and you make it a PDF or an EPUB format, and then you go on and distribute first and foremost to a podcast directory, preferably on iTunes. You can distribute it as an audio podcast. It kicks ass because people can take it with them in the car or in the in the phone at their jogging time and listen to you, and that increases your authority, providing that you're solving problems and your content is kick ass. And why a podcast? You'd ask, why a fucking podcast? Well, it's simple, because iTunes right now has 300 million credit cards on file that have the ability to buy or rent anything with one click. So this should be a damn good reason to have your own podcast made. So iTunes also has the ultimate kind of traffic, if you ask me, because it's actually a buyer's traffic. And that should have you excited out of your fucking mind with the possibilities that are laying before you. So, both audio or video would be just great. So after you've created and shared your podcast with the world, it's time for Bookcast, baby. Oh yeah. And what is a bookcast? Actually, it's a transcription of the content that you provided with the live cast. You can transcribe your live cast for pennies on the dollar. You can give it a Fiverr and have it transcribed for you with $5. And what you do with it, what you can do with it, you actually can sell it as a physical book on Amazon, like Paul Colligan did, or Lulu.com, or as a digital book through, again, Amazon Kindle. iBooks, you can make it an interactive book on iBooks. You can sell through ClickBank and through any channel or medium that sells digital content. Excuse me. So you can also use excerpts of that live cast as a blog post. You can use parts of it, excerpts of it, as articles in order to increase your authority and authority status. And basically, sky's the limit, and the only thing stopping you is your imagination and your fears. So what do you do after bookcasting? We'll naturally go to mobilecast, where you actually distribute the content, maybe the audio or the ebook, to mobile devices, iPads, iPhones, Androids, tablets, everything. And there are almost, as I said before, there are almost 300 million people having their credit card on file and able to purchase with one click in iTunes. So what we want to do then is go social with Socialcasting, which basically means to syndicate your content to as many social media properties as possible. And your content, again, could be video or written content or audio content, doesn't matter. And that cycle, that loop, as I want to call it, is the multicasting model in a nutshell. So let's start with with the various aspects. And first of all, I want to start with the social casting model, because right now social is the hottest trend in SEO, and for good reason, because actually Google reads social signals and uses its own shit, which is Google Plus. But it also uses social signals from all other social media websites to decide on whether your content is of high value for a reader or an internet searcher. And it ranks you actually if you have a good content written for people and not for search engines. It ranks you higher. That's why I love. I became from 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 a critique. I became an advocate of the latest Google algorithm because it actually separates the shitty content from the good content and actually gives a better user experience when you're searching for, for a subject, for a solution to your problem. And that's a good thing. Excuse me. Drank some water. So let's see the social casting model. Um, let's start with the distribution channels. You begin by, social bookmarking your content and then blast it to social networks. And of course, blogs as content. Your content should be podcast distributed to podcast directories, of course. Yes. And social video sites like YouTube, Vimeo, Veo, and and the list goes on and on and on. And let's see how this model would work. For example, let's say you had an amazing Google Hangout packed with exceptional quality content in HD. You can do, as I said before, you can do HD in Google Hangouts, and this Hangout will be then obviously be a video, right? And after that, you would go transcribe the fucking thing for like $4 or $5, and then turn it into PDF or an EPUB format. And you could have an infographic made for you for about 20 to $25 if possible. That depends on the content that you provided in this Hangout. You can have it in multiple, ready to rock formats. So what you could do with all these formats that you created now. So let's find out. First of all, let's see what you could do with video, right? So you could make a video product, you know, based on the content that you provided with this Google Hangout. You can make it a product and sell it to digital content selling websites like ClickBank, like Lulu and ClickShore and various other sites. I think it was pay.com. I don't remember correctly. So you get the drill, or your own video product that you can sell through your website with PayPal and all the blows and whistles. What else could you do with it? You could do a video podcast. It could be free and it could be paid, right? Um, you could do you could extract part of it and offer it as an incentive for people to opt in to your list. And you could make a video blog post on your blog or your vlog as a video blog, which would actually add to your authority status, right? So next up, we go with transcription. You can transcribe, as I said, you can transcribe the Hangout. You could transcribe it. And what would you do now with that transcription? Well, you could create a freemium PDF report, right? In exchange for and share with the world in exchange for email address or, like I said before, authority status improvement. You could also um, make it an ebook, EPUB or PDF ebook, and sell it in Amazon. You could also, have it as an incentive, part of it, excerpts of it as incentive to for people to opt into your list. And of course, you can make a part of it a blog post or an article in order to increase again authority status, right? Now you can have it convert. You can convert it to audio, an audio file. You can make an audio book, again, paid or free. You can also make an audio podcast, which is a tremendous traffic generator, and it can create a bond with your audience and increase your goodwill and trust and authority in the sky high, you know, in stratosphere levels. So you want to have an audio podcast because audio podcast is can be actually listened to everywhere, whether people may jog, whether they may work at their computer, they may drive, they can listen to you, can be with your audience all day, and that creates a bond between you and your potential customers or subscribers. So trust me, you want to make another podcast, and that is a note to self also. So let's see now with the audio. You can give it away as a bribe for opting in, a classic. And now let's go to infographic creation. Uh, like I said before, it this infographic is must be based on your content, the content you provide with your live cast, with your Google Hangout in the specific example. But it depends on the content you create. Usually, on 9 out of 10 times, you can create a fantastic infographic based on the content you provided during your live cast. So why infographic? Because infographics are actually very hot in social media right now, and it'll help you gain publicity and authority, and you can also use infographics strategically to boost your SEO rankings. Have in mind that Google uses Google Plus as their main tool to indicate the importance of a post or website and rank it higher. So that are the reasons that you create infographic instead of a simple meme, simple meme. So you want to create infographics because you can share it across all photo sharing websites like Instagram or Pinterest. So you dominate social media. You have a higher rates of engagement on Google Plus, which is like dominating the search engines, and you can also give it as a bribe for obtaining, as an incentive. So let's recap right now. Multicasting is the way to create content once and distribute it everywhere to anyone at any device. And the above statement makes multicasting the ultimate way of creating and sharing and selling content because basically you're leaving no stone unturned as far as content creation and distribution are concerned. So, I have some tips for you as far as creating your live cast is concerned. So, let's see them. You want to be specific and solve a problem. All the great, authorities, in the marketplace, whether it be internet marketing or fitness, they're solving a problem and they are truly the top gurus, like, this is a negative word, but sometimes it's true. All the gurus are actually providing very high value in the marketplace. That's why they don't, they're not a one-time, big shots and then disappear. For example, if you see Frank Kern or Eben Pigan or Andy Jenkins or Mike Filsaime or Trey Smith, Jay Abraham, Dan Kennedy, all these guys have been around for years and they're selling like mad up till now, and I think they will be selling because Mike Keenings, Paul Colligan, and all these guys are selling because they are truly solving problems. For example, Brendan Burchard uh, released his product for the product creation, how to create your product and distribute it properly and package it properly and stuff like that. I had more value from his free pre-launch videos than I had from some people's paid products for in a long time. Frank Kern, Frank Kern, from his videos, his free videos, I gain more value than any paid product. Andy Jenkins, the same. So be specific. You can actually copy all the these great guys, these great marketers, which actually are doing the same thing. They're not being a douche. They're actually providing high value, and they're looking to solve your problem. So be specific and solve a problem is my first tip for your content. So in order to create highest value content possible, to create the highest value content possible, excuse me, you got to take your time creating that content. So the value you offer must be extraordinary in order to stand out in your market, in order for you, to stand out in your marketplace. So it'll take roughly 3 weeks to create your content properly in order to give maximum value and benefits to the reader or the listener or the guys that are watching your videos. And it'll take another 4 to 6 weeks to syndicate that content properly, create ebooks and promote them. But trust me, it'll be all worth it. It might take some time, but it'll be worth it. Trust me on that. So with all that, I hope you enjoyed this presentation as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And if you feel it contributed in some way to your marketing arsenal or just added value to your business thinking patterns, please like and share that presentation as much as you can. And guys, I want to thank you. I want to truly thank you in advance for that, for liking and sharing my stuff. So thank you also for watching, and I'll catch you all later.